Like many From Software games, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is full of secrets off the beaten path. There are many things you can easily overlook if you are too distracted performing death blows on every samurai you come across, and alternate paths you can take if a boss seems too hard. We've got 7 things to do first in Sekiro, all found in the first 2 areas of the game. When you first arrive at the dilapidated temple, the sculptor will point you to a corner of the hub area where an undying man named Hanbei offers to be your training partner. I know, a training mode in a From Software game sounds like heresy, but even if you're a big Souls fan, you're going to need help unlearning all the mechanics of previous titles and learning how to aggressively deflect attacks, and Hanbei can help you there. Once you fight your first mini-boss, he'll also let you practice dodging unblockable attacks, which is extremely useful to get used to avoiding. As you continue to explore the first few areas of the game, you may find that some imposing mini-bosses, like the Samurai Generals, can be outright avoided if you so choose. While there is nothing wrong with sneaking past a tough fight, you'll find defeating these enemies worth your while. All mini-bosses in the game will drop a prayer bead when defeated. You'll need 4 of them to upgrade your health. This means that by avoiding these fights, you're actually going to make things harder for yourself when you reach the boss at the end of an area that you can't avoid. So be sure to look around and challenge everyone you encounter. Merchants are hard to come by in Sekiro, and some may take a bit of exploring to locate. An early merchant you can find is actually camped out above one of the main areas in the Ashina outskirts. When you reach the stairway with the cannon firing guy, turn around and look for a high peak, and grapple up on the left side to find a way up to the plateau where the merchant is. It might surprise you that he sells coin purses for a little more than they're worth. This is because you can effectively buy them to bank your own money. In case you start dying to a boss several times, you won't lose any money contained in the purses. Be sure to also buy the firecrackers he sells, as they can be used to make a prosthetic tool that's very useful. If you run too fast on the large sloping area past the first Samurai General in the Ashina outskirts, you might just miss an old woman standing in a broken house. She'll give you the bell charm, but what does that even mean? If you take it back to the Buddha statue at the temple, you can use it to relive a forgotten memory at the Hirata estate, which gives you access to a new area to explore and many more secrets to find. Be sure to go here if the next mini-boss in the outskirts gives you trouble. Speaking of which, the Chained Ogre mini-boss is a pretty effective gatekeeper for making sure new players understand the ropes. He can be extremely frustrating to fight, but you may have heard that red-eyed guys don't like fire. As it turns out, the previously mentioned Hirata estate has the tool you seek. Look for a side path when finding an alternate route when you reach the locked door at the start of the estate. You'll find a bonfire raging by some houses, and inside the fire is a flame barrel, which can be converted into a flame vent tool, and can stagger enemies like the Chained Ogre. While in the Hirata estate, you may notice that the river here has a few giant red fish. These are treasure carp, and killing them nets you a treasure carp scale. But what can you do with them? If you check up by the right at the first bridge along the main river, you can find a strange pot on an island inhabited by a creepy merchant who wants scales in exchange for rare items. So be sure to trade in and get some great gear. Okay, so this one goes out to all the pros who already think the game is too easy. Did you know there's a way to make the game harder? After you defeat the Chained Ogre in the Ashina outskirts, head to the next courtyard where a Samurai General and his men are, and hang a right to find a small shrine on a cliff with a spooky note. You can grapple along the rocks behind the shrine to find a cave. At the bottom of this cave is a headless spirit mini-boss that can't even be damaged by normal means, and he slows your movement too. You're going to want to dodge past him and look for a small tunnel behind him leading to a secret door you can hug to enter the Bell Demon's temple. Up here you'll find a mysterious bell with a note that implores you not to ring it. Ring it anyway, and you'll gain the Bell Demon item, which makes all enemies tougher but increases the rewards you get for killing them. If things get too tough to handle, simply use the Bell Demon to make it go away. That's just a handful of things you can do and find in the first few hours of Sekiro. Be sure to check out our walkthrough guide for more info and our 5 best skills to get first. For everything else, stick with IGN.